Alright, welcome to the first episode of my new series that I'm going to be doing on this channel called You Brick It, You Buy It. And basically, I'm going to be trying to recreate Lego sets, probably new ones or old ones, but it's based on the pieces that I already have. And I'm going to give them a score at the end based on how well I could do it. And if the score is below 50, then I would consider it worth buying. So let's get right into it. Today's episode, we're kicking it off with the brand new Lego Fantastic Four set with Galactus. So first starting here, I'm just building the back piece. This one was actually pretty accurate. I used the gray pieces, and I didn't stray too far from the design, especially with those back plates. I didn't think I would have very many of those, but as you'll see coming up, I have a lot of issues with those kind of like pointed pieces. I don't have a ton of those, but I did have a bunch of those 4x4 things. Oh, I messed up here. The camera fell while recording. I forgot about that. So you're just gonna have to take my word for the building there. But as you can see, yeah, I only had one of the ones with the side there, so I just put one piece there. But I did have a bunch of those circular pieces that came with. And as you'll see as I'm going on with this, as you know, Galactus is obviously purple usually, but I ended up just doing it with black pieces because I have very little purple pieces, and there's very random kind of pieces that come with this one. That's the end of the core. Now we're gonna start building the end. But yeah, I'm gonna be using usually it's with purple, blue, and a darker red. I didn't really like the darker red, to be honest, anyways, but I just switched the purple with black, and the blue with gray, and the darker red with the lighter gray. So here I am adding the ending pieces there. Let's get it on. Usually they come with, one thing that would be good to know is that usually it comes with special like dagger pieces, but I just ended up having to use like the regular thorn pieces. Also, the ones on the side there come with special pieces that really fit in, but I just ended up using like these giant claw pieces. And now we're gonna move on. I believe this is the leg. Yeah, we're gonna start adding on with the Technic piece, but yeah, it's pretty simple. Just adding that. We're going to add there, and then we're going to do the same thing for the other leg. It looks a lot better, honestly, with when you have the special piece that was made directly for it, but it didn't look too bad in my opinion, so I just went with it. And I'm just going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to put it on. Here we go. And then that's finished the like thigh piece and the main piece. I also used for his little like tarp at the bottom there, I used a like Avengers Spider-Man piece, and it seemed to work pretty good, especially with the gray theme. And here we go. Now I'm finally building the end of the leg that works down. Actually, I had a lot of the pieces, surprisingly, but the ones that are the smooth bottom ones, I didn't have a lot. So I think in the other leg I ended up having to do something else, and I was slowly running out of those like pointed pieces as this goes on, because you have to use a bunch of them, as you'll see here. But I did have that one, so yep, that's what it's gonna look like. To be honest, the legs looked a bit weird to me. I don't know, but I didn't stray too far from the original design. In fact, I was pretty much following the instructions exactly. But as I was building the legs, like I noticed they looked a bit off compared to the figure. The rest of the builds look good, but yeah. I ran out of snot bricks here. I used a blue one, but not too much big of a deal, because you can't really see that part. Yeah, and I'm just doing the other leg here. It's pretty much the same design, but mirrored as I'm following the instructions. Surprisingly, you can pretty much get all the instructions for every one of these on the LEGO website. So you just search up whatever set instructions, you can get them for free, which I didn't know before. So they'll be good for this series. And yeah, there's the legs. They look a bit off to me. I don't know, you can let me know in the comments, but that's just my opinion. Now we're going to move on to the foot part, which also looked a bit strange, but honestly, it kind of fit in. Use a snot brick there. I actually only had one or two of those things, and it fit perfect here. It was supposed to be used in another part, but I decided to use something else, and I think that really worked out, because if I had to use a 2x2, it would have looked a lot worse. There we go. Now we're just going to mirror it for the other one. Surprisingly, I had a lot of those ending pieces, but not enough for that. This one was a lot less detailed, to be honest, because I ran out. I only had like one of these pieces. So we're going to put that on, and then put those on. One there for when Invisible Woman stands on his foot, so she has a little brick there. And we'll stand him up, and yeah, look at those legs. They look very like cowardly. Looks like he's doing like an anime stance. Okay, and now we're gonna start on the arms. Finally, this is gonna be like the tricep part. I don't know why this is taking so long. I think I just oh yeah, what am I doing? Okay, yeah, I think I just had to change something. But yeah, we have to put in this. Originally, there's another one of those like pointed pieces in there, but I just switched out with the white one, which is like one of the only white pieces I used here. But I think it worked out. It kind of looks good. We're gonna use more of those triangulated pieces, and then we're gonna pop it on, and there it is. The arms look a lot better than the legs, in my opinion. Now we're just gonna do the same to mirror it. Let's get it. Same thing. I'm taking a big pause. I don't know why I take such big pauses here. But yeah, we're going to pop those on and get those pieces there. With those ones on, I had a bunch of those, so that wasn't really a worry. Especially a bunch of those, because I got a bunch of the mech like Lego sets before, so a lot of those pieces are being reused here. Only the special pieces are like the ones that are on the arms and legs. Yep, there we go. That one, that's my favorite. That's like the way those arms move, as you'll see later when I do the review. And yeah, we're gonna move on. Okay, yeah. Now we're gonna do like the hand pieces, which is pretty simple. I don't know why we used like the circular piece, but it works. We're gonna pop those on here. I had a bunch of those, but for the second hand, I didn't. For some reason, I couldn't find a bunch of those like finger pieces, so I ended up using the ones that are for the battle droids instead. And it didn't look too bad. To be honest, this whole thing kind of just looks like a mech Galactus. And I kind of like that vibe. It's like a robot Galactus. It's interesting, especially when we get to the head. Putting those on here. Basically mirroring it, except I didn't use the black circle piece for this one. We're just going to pop it on. And there we go. Yeah, as you see, I used the battle droid arms. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too weird. Looks a bit out, but you know, it's very like scrappy Galactus. Now we're gonna start on the head. This is my favorite part, actually. I ended up using this in another video that's gonna be coming out soon. You'll see I drew on the head there, just like with some paint pens, just to get the outline, kind of. And then yeah, we're gonna do the horns. I honestly really like this head design. I love the head designs. I wish they did more of the mech designs that are like, or the big fig designs that are like Ant-Man from that Civil War set, but I don't really like the action figure ones, but this looks okay. But I would have preferred if they did like a giant Lego scale one like they did for Ant-Man. Yeah, I'm gonna put more of those pieces on, these triangular ones, and it's gonna be like the top of his helmet. I'm going to pop those side ones on, make a little circle, smooth, and then we pop it on. Yep. And now we're just going to do the horns, put the little sides. This one was probably the most difficult to do, just because it was like interesting trying to figure out how I was going to get it to look, but I think it ended up working out pretty good. Yeah, as you see, I'm struggling there. I put it back on, and then we used like one of the side pieces, and yeah, we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Get that on. Will I remember? Yeah, I think I did. Okay. That's great, yeah. And then we got that. It's all done, and we're going to pop it on. Oh, yep. And there we go. That's pretty much all finished Mech Galactus, or Dark Galactus, whatever you want to call him. That's the build there. I think I did a pretty good job. Oh, and I forgot to mention, because they cut out, but those shoulder pieces are also come with a custom piece that's like pretty much only in this set, but I used just the circular ones to help out, make it look normal. I think it worked. And now we're just gonna move on to building the figures, which is the last to do. Most of these are painted. They don't look too well, but I did have most of the pieces for the legs. That worked out pretty good. I like the way they did the legs. Human Torch, you see, is one of those action pieces, and this is actually the one for one of the Muppet characters, but I just drew a 4 on there. because I don't have many fire pieces. There it is. And then we're going to do the thing, which again is just painted, and that head is from Ninjago, I believe. It looked alright, especially since it's the same because they did the minifig version for this set. And then Invisible Woman's the same from that, they did the No Way Home Hydron set. I just drew a 4 in there, and then yeah, she goes on the leg there on that little space we put. There's the thing. I love that you can hold minifigs in this. It looks so good, especially the legs. And yeah, oh, I forgot to add the building part, but there's something you can add on the back that adds that. And luckily I had one of those invisible pieces. So yeah, overall, I would give this 10, oh my god, what am I saying? Overall, I would give this set probably a 60 score. I'll give it a 63, just because it has a lot of pieces that are like hard to get, and especially the purple is like really the deal breaker, making it different from the set. But yeah, that's the build for today. Hope you guys have a great time. Enjoy. What am I saying? Subscribe. I'll see you later.